Hi everyone, hope you're well. So when I was recording the Friday artwork video for Cold Snap, I made a reference to this book, and several friends of the channel requested that I do a flip through. So here we are, here's the flip through. So I'm just going to flip over to the back first because there are probably a few people watching this that may not know the context of this book. So it's my understanding, and it's alluded to on the back here, and I'm thinking that other sections of the book, that this came about as a result of content which had originated on a fan site called Westeros.org, and then that expanded out to a collaboration between the two founders of that particular fan site and George Martin as well, and resulted in the production of this particular book. So I picked this up. There's a date on here, copyright date of 2014, so I would say I probably picked it up sometime around that time. I've had this for quite a number of years now. It's one of those books, and I've probably said this before, there's a number of books which I enjoy because they're a great one to sit down with at the weekend and just while away several hours, like flicking through them. And it's a great combination of stuff in here, and definitely worth tracking down. I think if you're a fan of the world of George R.R. Martin, that revolves around A Song of Ice and Fire. And so you can see there's a lot in this book. Now, I don't know if this video is going to be able to do it justice, but certainly I'm hoping it will be a great overview for anybody that's seen this book, maybe hasn't had a chance to look at it in a bookstore. I'm not sure with this where I actually ended up purchasing it from. I may have bought this online, but I've certainly seen it in a number of would it be chapters in Canada. So we got like a historical background. So one of the things which I find interesting in the case of the author is rather like Tolkien. There's this massive world building, and so it really leaves options open for books like this to report and sort of reflect on that whole everything in world. So of course this is going to cover different eras that are obviously covered by a number of different books and graphic novels that are out there, plus all the TV series as well we've had. So we've got Targaryen Kings. What I'm going to try and do is I'll flick through a bit more rapidly here, because I think you've sort of got a bit of a feel for the way they're sort of inserting the art into this, and just the look of the pages is really nice as well. It has this sort of weathered, not papyrus is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. It's those old sort of scrolls that you might find in dusty tomes, and that sort of style of paper. What I was trying to do is flip through, because I wanted to give people an idea of what's the word I'm looking for, like the cartography elements, because you've probably seen me display certain stuff like that with respect to Tolkien. So it's interesting to see what this book brings together with the artwork and the stories. It's a pretty solid book as well. A lot of times you have problems when books get this big, but I just like the way the binding is. I've got other books that are pretty thick like this, and they don't often fare so well over time, but this seems to have held together. There we go. There's a good example of the sort of thing I was after. So see how much of that we can see. It's got all the nice sigils and stuff like that. Yeah, there's more of this as we go through. You'll probably notice. Yeah, again, the various houses. Islands. Westerlands. The Reach. So pretty cool in that respect, you know. Brings together, like I say, a lot of, and you know, I'm not super familiar with the original website, so I wouldn't know off the top of my head how much of this stuff is reproduced from there. But it is nice to have it in, you know, this sort of large kitchen table book format, where, like I said, you can just flick through, you know, switch off, you know, detach from social media, switch off your phone, and just, you know, absorb yourself into this. And I imagine when I come to actually properly read through the books, because I think I said I've got all of them, but I've only read through the first 3. But like I often used to do with Tolkien and some of the Tolkien encyclopedias I had and supplemental work, you know, while I was reading through the stories, sometimes I'd take a look at a bit of a backstory as well at certain points. So I'll be nice for that. And then we're getting to the end now. Aha. Here we go. That's very nice. So again, something that you often would find at the end of, I think, in the appendix at the end of what is it? The Return of the King, Tolkien. There's some very nice lineage charts. So always cool if you get a little bit lost. And then we have a fairly short index for the size of the book. Well, that's quite nice. Huh? Yeah, so there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed that flip. Oh, there we go. That's a bit of a classic piece of artwork. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed that flip through. Yeah, it's a pretty heavy tome. I don't know if you got to see that. There we go. So thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in a future video.